I'm Rebecca Myers. I'm the child life specialist in our NICU and our cardiac intensive care unit. My role is to support kids and families through the hospital experience. So make a potentially really stressful situation a little less scary and we hope a little more normal and fun. So when kids first come into the hospital, we usually talk with the families about how kids cope, what their whole family dynamic is, and figure out how to support them to be the way they should be if they weren't at the hospital. So making sure that they have a bouncy seat if that's what they use, if that's what calms them, pacifiers. For our older kids, opportunities to connect with their brothers and sisters outside of the hospital, maybe through Skype or email, connect with their friends. We prepare them for surgeries, procedures, and things like that so that they understand the sensory experience of what they're going to see, hear, and feel when they're here at the hospital. As they understand that, they tend to cope a little bit better and then heal better. They go through the process a little quicker. We have a total patient bed number of 288 available beds, and our total number of patients filling those spaces has been up pretty close to that for a long period of time. So it is stretching our personnel resources as well as like our toy resources even really, really thin. So there are all these patients that have really, really high needs that it's really hard to go home at the end of the day and know that there's a patient that really needed something that we weren't able to get to. That's where people from the community being able to support us is so wonderful. And the Charles Tillman Foundation we're really excited about because all of what they give to the hospital goes straight to funding either our family services positions or some of our materials like the things that are in the Charles Tillman locker.
My name is Jennifer White. I live in Lansing, originally from Chicago, and have a son. His name is Marlon. He's 3. He is very ill. He's chronically ill. About 3 years ago, my son was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. I gave up my whole life to move into the hospital and be by his side, and I was just overwhelmed. So then the social worker, she comes and she tells me about Charles Tillman and the Cornerstone Foundation, because I said, I have school, but I really don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my son's side, but I really need to, because if I don't take these classes, I'm not going to get into the course. And she said, well, Charles Tillman, he has a locker here. Have you ever heard of the Cornerstone Foundation? No, what's that? So she tells me all the things that are in the locker, and she says, would a laptop help you? So I said, yeah. I was able to still do my homework, still participate in the lessons, but still be there for my child. So having the laptop provided by them was a really, really, really big help. It was probably the most important thing, like the best thing that could have happened during that terrible time in my life.
So I'm Joanne Singleton. I'm one of the licensed clinical social workers at Lurie Children's, and I work primarily with children who are receiving liver and intestinal transplants. And one of the things that I'm always looking to assess is how is the family doing financially. If they don't have a house for the child to go home to at discharge, then I have a major problem. I love the Charles Tillman Foundation because it allows me to go in and meet with a family and ask them what they need, and then I have a place that I can go to ask for assistance for a family. I guess I'm the lucky one because I get the information back from the foundation telling me what they're able to do for the family, and I get to go and tell the family. And it's like this little moment of joy that we all might have in the ICU when I get to tell them, you know, 2 months of your rent is being paid. And, you know, I just see the happiness on those parents' faces for, even if it's just a few minutes, because suddenly they're relieved that the next couple of months they might not have to worry about what they're going to do for rent, that they can focus on just being at the bedside and trying to figure out how to help their child that's really, really sick. I didn't think I was going to do that, but that's because I got to tell the family downstairs, or upstairs now, I guess. And the mum basically said, "Thank you, Jesus." That was the first thing she said, and both mum and dad were really, really, they were just so grateful. And they didn't come to me and ask for that help. I was the one that asked them how they were doing. So that it's not that these are parents that are feeling entitled or demanding. You know, the dad's work is 10 miles away and he struggles to leave even for 2 or 3 hours a day to go down and work because he's so afraid of leaving the child's bedside, but he knows he needs to work. And so for me to be able to tell them, you know, the foundation can pay 3 months' rent for you, the parents are understandably overjoyed by that. It's definitely brightened their day today.